Hey, good morning and happy Monday. First of all, excuse the shakes. I've got somebody holding this camera versus normally standing on my tripod. The summit starts tomorrow morning, and that's not what I want to talk to you about. I actually want to talk to you about a couple of calls that I had over the weekend, and specifically one particular call where, well, let me say it to you this way. Have you ever had any fear in your business? Have you ever been afraid of what could happen, negative end results, everything turning to the absolute worst? I think, unfortunately, we've all been there. Well, I had a few conversations with some clients and just a friend of mine, and what shocked me was how this fear just absolutely began to dominate their reality. And when they shared it with me, I sat there thinking to myself, there is no way that that could happen, but they were just obsessed about it. Do you know someone that's ever been obsessed about their fear before? Have you ever been obsessed about your fear? Well, I want you just to consider the following, that when you are in a state of fear, it is a trap, and it is a self-imposed trap, and there's absolutely no power in fear. So let me give you a real-life example. One of my clients calls and says, I canceled 4 listings. And I said, tell me about that. He said, well, they were totally overpriced and they were totally unrealistic, and he shares the justification or the rationalization as to why he canceled the listings. And then he texts me back a few minutes later saying, oh my God, now I have no listings and I'm totally afraid, and what do I do? And I've got all these negative thoughts going through my head. I went, wait a minute. You're the one that took responsibility. You're the one that canceled the listings. Now you're putting yourself in a state of fear. There's no power in that. So here's my simple thing for you. When that moment shows up, here's what I've always done. I ask myself this question. What is the worst case scenario? What is the real worst case scenario? Then I ask myself, after the worst case scenario, and I'll actually list out, like I'm going to die, and then I think, well, I'm not going to die. And it almost becomes a little humorous when you do it, when you really go to that level. Then you ask yourself the second question, what is the most likely scenario? What's the most likely scenario? And you and I both know the most likely scenario is you live, you work through it, you get out of it, things go your way. They always do, because they always have, because you're the kind of person that watches these videos and you get it. And then you ask yourself, well, what's the best case scenario? The best case scenario is, so all of a sudden you go, well, I'm going to turn it all around. I'm going to kick butt. I'm going to make everything rock. I'm going to be a rock star. Matter of fact, canceling those listings or that deal falling apart or my lack of cash flow today or, the argument I just got in with a loved one, whatever is creating the fear, you ask yourself, what's the best case scenario? And you say, wait a minute, that needed to happen. Breakdown to breakthrough. This is the beginning of the journey towards everything I've ever wanted in life. It had to happen. So I guess here's my question to you. The next time fear shows up, what will you do? Will you stop and get out of your head, which can be a very scary place to be, and just stop and say, hey, what's the real worst case scenario? And list them out. What's the most likely scenario? And then what is the best case scenario? What's the best case that could come out of this? I want you to take those questions, take them to heart, share them with the next person you talk to that walks in and says, oh my God, I'm having a bad day and I'm freaked out. You know the drama. We live in a drama society. Help yourself and help the people around you. Remember, your strategy matters and your passion rules. Thanks for watching the video.